If a Suron and a bicycle got together, this would be their love child. This is the Luckeep L5 Max e-bike. Now, admittedly, a lot of these e-bike reviews end up with the same verdict, but this bike actually surprised me. Like every other e-bike, this thing arrives in a big old box. FedEx dropped this thing off and the box looks to be in pretty good shape, so we should have all the necessary parts. Assembling the bike is also like every other e-bike, so we're just gonna throw on the bars and the front wheel. While we assemble the rest of the bike, we're also gonna charge the battery. The Luckeep has a 52-volt battery system with a 1500 watt continuous motor that peaks up to 2000 watts. Now, this is a claimed torque of 120 Newton meters, which results in an alleged top speed of 37.5 miles per hour. As far as range, Luckeep claims around 80 miles with a standard 52-volt 20 amp hour and up to 160 miles if you add the optional second battery. This bike rolls on some fat, rugged tires, 20 by 4 inch puncture-resistant fat tires that'll help with grip and comfort on rougher terrain and potholes. It bolsters full suspension, so inverted front fork, plus a dual rear coil/oil shocks for smoothed out bumps in the rear. Not going to be anything crazy, but enough to get the job done. It sports hydraulic disc brakes front and rear, which is the bare minimum. It has a decent payload limit of about 400 pounds, so you and your lady could fit on this bike. It's relatively light for what it is, only about 102 pounds, including the battery, which is important for storage in a smaller apartment or bringing it up any sets of stairs.
All right, so let's finally actually ride this thing, but also appreciate some of the unique looks of this thing. Honestly, I feel like it does have sort of Suron style with the pedal e-bike side of things. I don't know, a lot of people might not like the look of this bike, but the more I look at it, honestly, I kind of think it's among the coolest of what I've seen so far. Now, I did ride this briefly before. One thing I'll say is the seat on this thing is killer. So it actually has a nice little raised bottom here, so you sit perfectly into the seat. It's comfortable. It puts you in a good spot on the bike. I really like it. As far as design goes, I definitely think they went above and beyond compared to some other Chinese companies. You have the sort of tan wall tires, I guess you could call them. They're fat tires, so it makes riding over bumps and stuff a lot easier. They even have a storage basket, which I am surprised I don't see on more e-bikes, to be honest. That actually is like super utilitarian. You can just throw like a drink in there, whatever. You go to the grocery store, throw whatever you want in there. That's super utilitarian. I also love the battery style on this thing, so let me show you real quick. This thing comes with a set of keys and NFC tag. So real quick, to remove the battery, you have this locking lid so nobody can come and just take this battery, and this actually slides in down here. You have the ability to slide it out, and there's also the ability to slide on a second battery, so you can actually have two batteries fill out this whole section here, and then you have double the range. They claim up to about 180 miles when you have two batteries. It's allegedly 80 miles with just this one 52 volt. So coming to the cockpit here, pretty straightforward. Way it works is you hold this M button on the middle here and you put the NFC tag up to it, and it actually turns the bike on. So it is a fully NFC tag bike. Now, once you're on the bike in the cockpit, you have a nice little screen. It shows your tachometer, your speedometer, and what mode you're in. So this is pedal assist. There's 5 different pedal assist modes. You can go up with this little arrow here and down. So the second you start pedaling, this thing kicks right in. And it's pretty powerful, as you can tell. Now, there is also a full twist throttle, so it's not a half twist or a thumb throttle. I love that this is a full twist. It's just like any other e-bike. Gear changer from Shimano, 7-speed gear changer. And then you've got hydraulic brakes front and rear, which I've been surprised with how good they've been. We have a headlight, comes on and off. You have turn signals and a working horn. Whew. Now, sitting on this thing, I gotta say, I actually really enjoy the sitting position. I do feel like I'm sitting a little further back on the bike, and I'm sitting kind of down in the bike versus on top of it because of how this seat is. The seat's pretty low, so if you're short, you can still get on this and flat-foot it. It looks a little funky with how low it is, but it actually makes the bike a lot more comfortable and confidence-inspiring. So you don't have to be super tall. And just getting up to speed, this thing is pretty quick, pretty comfortable. We're at 60%. I didn't charge it all the way. Whoops. But with that said, woo, let's see how fast we can get this thing to go. So we're at 22. We're going up a hill here. We'll get a top speed coming down the other side, but completely flat, 25, 26, 27. They claim, I think, 36.5. And we're gonna get that right here for sure. 33, 34, 35, 36. Oh yeah, so once you get to 36.5, it actually is governed, and it won't go any quicker than that, but this thing is pretty dang quick. Now, we do have to talk about the most important thing on this, which is price. It's only $14.99. Again, I won't lie, I usually don't like these types of e-bikes. Let's even do our pedal assist. It's crazy. In the top gear 5, like, you literally, there's no resistance. You just move your legs a tiny bit and it starts going. It's actually kind of nuts. But price of this thing, $14.99, which I can't believe. That's like a lot cheaper than what would be similar, I guess, which would be like a Super 73. That's crazy. This honestly is the first of these electric pedal bikes that I've ridden that I feel like I would actually consider buying myself. It's a sick old truck. An old Jeep truck too. Oh, and that's interesting. Look, it looks like this has power sag like my ETM RTR does from Electron Co, because the percent's actually 75%, but it just dipped while we were ripping it. That's interesting. Yeah, we still have a standard trip and everything here, but as far as top speed, I think 36.5 miles per hour is correct, and I think it's plenty of speed. Now, with speed comes braking, and I am actually very surprised with how well this thing brakes. It's the first thing I noticed when I hopped on this is these brakes have great feedback. They feel like properly bled, and they actually will lock up the wheel. We can skid the rear, can we stoppy? We did a baby stoppy. So brakes actually feel super decent, especially for this price of bike. As far as suspension goes, it's going to be pretty standard, kind of like cheaper e-bike suspension. I don't think this is going to be something you really want to go and take off-road seriously. I mean, you probably could to some extent, but I don't think it's going to be made for that. I think it's going to be made for cruising, commuting, all the above. Now, on the way to the trails, we could try and see, is it possible to wheelie this? I do think it has brake sensors. Yes, it does. But let's see if we can even get the front wheel up. I don't know. Stand on the seat? Dude, I'll tell you what, the seat is actually huge standing on it like this. Yeah, I don't think that wheelies are gonna happen. I don't think you can't wheelie it. I just think that I personally can't. Like I said, I usually don't really like these types of e-bikes. That's why with this one, I'm actually really surprised because it kind of looks funky. I'm not really sure how I like the way it looks or not. It's surprisingly good for what it's meant to do. Like, this is the first of these e-bikes I've gotten where, like, I feel like this is something that I might actually buy myself. Now, to be clear, I didn't buy this. This was sent to me for free for review by Luckeep. Thank you, Luckeep. I appreciate that. But this is the first experience I've had where I actually like this bike a lot more. And recently I had a bike from Milad that I reviewed, and that was a dual motor, hub motor bike. So the front had a hub motor as well. And I didn't like that nearly as much as this. The way this feels, even though it's less powered, I just much prefer it. And we'll do our little off-road section here quick. Again, this isn't going to be an off-road bike. It's got the fat tires to deal with some bumps and suspension, but you don't buy this thing to go off-roading. If you got some bumps, hop some curbs, hit some potholes, it'll rattle a bit, but I think you'll be fine. Yeah, so I mean, it handled that as well as I would expect it to. But I think this is gonna shine as like a perfect little commuter bike. And again, I low-key kind of like the way that it looks, even though it's really odd. And I never like the way any pedal bike, e-bikes look. I fool with it. I think there's a couple modes on here. We can switch to max, so we got 36.8 max miles per hour. So our average is 14, I guess. I don't know what 50.9 means. This means how long we've been riding. So a bunch of different features. The screen is actually super bright. You can see it super well, even though, you know, the middle of the day, full sunshine. Like, I don't own any bikes where I can legally and comfortably do this, which is crazy. Like, I can just ride on the road like this. I mean, granted, I do it on my RTR. I can ride on the road like this without worry that I'm gonna get pulled over, because this is an e-bike, which honestly, this is a weird sensation. I guess I literally could just ride this wherever I want. So for a fully street legal bike, another sick old car, that thing is dope. It actually isn't bad, all things considered. Again, I'm not being paid for this review. I got the bike for free, but I'm just genuinely surprised because this is the first one of these bikes I've ever gotten that I actually like. Yeah, so like for a fully street legal vehicle, it's actually pretty cool. And look at us, we're out on the main road and this is legal. Technically not, because this isn't 750 watt or below. I think at PA that's what you need. Less than 750 watt. This is 1500 watt, but you're never gonna get trouble for this unless you're riding like an idiot. But I think this is like an actual proper moped. And I really like the styling. I like how the battery is set up. It's literally like a Sur-Ron. You have a locking cover, so if you lock this up somewhere, nobody's able to steal your battery. You can also put a second one in there, so this thing will go literally forever. As far as weight too, it's about 100 pounds, so it's a little on the heavier side, I won't lie. But that's around the weight of like a little bit lighter than a Sur-Ron or an RTR. And it's perfect if you just want something like, let's say you're able to commute on bike paths like this. This is where it's so perfect, dude, because you can just cruise through here. Nobody bats an eye. It's not like you're on a Sur-Ron, an electric dirt bike, anything like that. You're on an e-bike. Yeah, just getting some clips for you guys, but I actually am so surprised. Oh, I guess I didn't lock this. Whoopsie. So it is really a good peace of mind, because there's other electric bikes I've reviewed that don't even have, like, some of them have a key to remove it, some of them don't even have a key to remove the battery, which, you know, isn't ideal. I guess my RTR doesn't, you don't even need a key to remove the battery, which certainly isn't ideal, but yeah, guys, I honestly would say, in the first time in history of this channel, this is a bike that I think I actually would recommend. If I were in the market for a sub $1,500 e-bike, specifically to get around, but also enjoy, like, this is fun. This is actually fun. You can rip it. You can take it on some basic trails and whatnot. You're not really going to wheelie it. At least I'm not. This is probably the first one I'd recommend. This and that scooter I reviewed once, that was a 6 scooter too. It's cool as an option to ride on the street legally, because I am always afraid riding my electric dirt bikes on the street. So to have this, literally you're totally legal essentially. So I gotta give a huge shout out to Luckeep for sending me this bike for review. I really appreciate it. I am super surprised. If you're interested in this bike, I'm gonna link it down in the description. I might have a discount code, so if I do, that'll also be in the description. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions on this bike, feel free to leave it down below. I'll do my best to answer you. But otherwise, guys, road to 100K. We're at 97K today. So we need 3K more to get to 100K. Get us that silver play button. I would greatly appreciate it. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I will see you very, very soon. Peace.